Glovebox Live's Nick John has a chat with blues guitarist James Nichols.
Hi, for Glovebox Live and Blues in Britain magazine, let's name check old Blue Eyes himself, Frank Sinatra, and talk some old black magic with guitar player James Nichols.
Yes.
Hi, James.
Thank you so much for having me.
How you doing? You're on a UK tour again?
We're great, man. The weather's much better this time around. We were here in February when the worst snowstorm was of forever. So this time around, man, the weather's been great and the shows have been amazing.
That's fantastic. You do a lot of touring over here.
Yeah.
You're playing a lot. You're on tour with LA Guns at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You do headline shots, and you're going over to Europe again.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you obviously believe in the work ethic.
I do. I believe that it's more important now than ever. Although we always have like social media now and everything, but still to be there and doing it in a real venue with real people and growing it just like that. You know, I am so in love with touring and traveling and just meeting people all over. And the UK is such a great hub for someone like me because there's so many music lovers here that it never gets boring. We can go to any town and we're going to find people that love great music.
And you're in the heart of the Midlands tonight.
We're in the Black Country.
Home of Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, the heavy metal riff.
Crazy, man. Yeah, it's pretty wild to think, too, for someone like me that I grew up in Wisconsin, and to think that all these times I come over here, I'm literally in the backyard of some of the music I grew up worshiping, you know? It's so cool.
That's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Let's talk about the album.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fantastic album.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when we spoke previously, I said to you, it's short and sharp and concise.
Mm-hmm.
It surprised me in a way, that, because, how do I put this, you like a solo.
So
was
much.
there was there an actual conscious decision to keep this tight, not to let each song get to 4, 5, 6 minutes or whatever? What was the plan behind that?
It really was. Well, like the first thing I'd like to say is like when I recorded my first record, Old Glory, it was the first time I'd really ever been in a studio. So I had no idea of really, I didn't know what it was going to come out sounding like, what it was going to feel like. And I was very stressed and very worried about the record. And the whole time I was kind of biting my nails just to make sure that it was something that I'd be proud of. And we had that record come out, and then we toured for about 2 solid years. So what you hear on Black Magic is we were on the road and we just stripped it down. It's almost like when you have so much stuff and you go, well, I don't need that right now. I don't need that. I don't need that. And next thing you know, it's just like so stripped down to the simplicity of like a guitar, bass, drum, just the power trio with a little bit of sprinkles on it. So for me, it was a very conscious decision on the songs and putting that forward before the guitar, because I knew that the guitar was always there, but I made a really big effort to try and make it more like a single space thing where it was just really old school. But the cool part about it is a lot of people have said, man, it's too short, we want more. I said, well, that's amazing to hear, because that, the next record,
that's better than we want less.
Yeah, and the next record, I have a really big plan, to kind of flip everything on its whole head. And
it felt to me, it was almost, it was like made for vinyl. It was almost like that length, and the conscious, the tracks number and things. It was almost like planned for that.
It really was, and I made the record with one of my best friends, Tony Perry. His dad's Joe Perry from Aerosmith. So the whole time we were making this record, we were doing it in ridiculous studios at like Johnny Depp's studio, and we were always conscious of this wave of like 1966 through like 1970, this whole thing where it was like some of my favorite songs, like even like Mississippi Queen, it's 2:40, it's short, concise, to the point. I just kind of want to.
People don't remember that, do they?
Yeah,
because they're so used to that being long versions.
And it's cool for us to play live and to really stretch them out. I think that people are really into that. It was a definitely conscious decision, and I'm really happy with the record, and I'm happy because I also like listen back to it and it's like a moment in time. You know what I mean? I remember exactly where I was when I recorded. You know what I mean?
You don't be afraid, and I won't call your name. Just hear me moan. You know how it feels to be alone.
Come up with the songs on your own first, so you kind of had them when you went in with the guys into the studio.
Kind of had them as we had them, but you know, it's funny. Like I said, we were on the road so much that a lot of these songs were written during sound checks or backstage. You know, I was always going because I didn't really have a lot of time to stop and really breathe in what was happening. You know, we had done so much touring. We did like the world tour with Zakk Wylde, and we did all this stuff. So I was trying to catch my breath, but at the same time, I knew in the back of my head, I was like, you need to keep writing and creating, right? So we would do these riffs at sound check, and I was like, well, that's pretty cool, you know, like some of these songs, and they were just born out of that. And so we had some kind of goals, but then there's like the one song on there, What Love it's called. It's just me with a guitar with a bass string on it. And that song, I said, I have an idea. And he's like, well, just record it. Let's do a demo of it. And I did it that first take. And that's what's on the record. So it's kind of cool like that too. It's very bumps and bruises and scrapes. It's more real. I didn't want to go for, you know, like you said, like all my favorite records, those guys were really singing and those guys were really playing. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to try and cover it up. I think that the world needs more realness and less cover up, especially in music. So that was really important on that one.
Let's go back a bit to when you were growing up. Your mum took you to a blues jam.
Yeah.
And that was where the bug hit.
100%.
Hit 100%. And from then, you've got this background in blues, but I know I've got you down as you're a rocker, man. And I was chatting to this with the guys earlier on, and we were saying over here, I think we pigeonhole. We need to put you somewhere. But you're definitely at the heavier end of the blues, but it informs everything you do. Yeah,
for sure. Especially for me, you know, the guys come from different backgrounds, and that's evident. You know, like I grew up playing shuffles, and I knew more about blues by the time I was 17 or 18 than I think that most people ever need to know about blues. And it always influences me as a singer and as a guitar player. Always. It's always my first and last starting point is the blues. But I think what happened was I had like a feeling one day that, you know, I love blues and I want to honor it and respect it for the tradition that it is. But I also want to serve my own purpose. And this day and age, 2018, I had different feelings than just going a very traditional route. I still love and I still would love to play that music, but I think that the masses need to understand that blues is still relevant. Yeah. And for us, you know, when we're playing, whether it's Ramblin' Man or Download or whatever these festivals, and there's still that blues tinge in there, I think that means more to me than playing, you know, small clubs only and just playing my traditional blues, you know. And with the guys too, they bring such different elements. So it's almost like, I always look back to like Cream, you know, and that kind of, that fusion of it all. And that's what I really aspire to and look up to. But yeah, the blues bug, man, I still only listen to blues, really. It's not like I listen to heavy music. You know, just today we were listening to Buddy Guy and Junior Wells play the blues, you know. Still I love all that stuff.
I was listening to Johnny Winter coming up.
Oh.
Knowing I was going to be talking to you and thinking, well, they always said he was a bluesman, but he played rock and roll, he played some country licks, and, you know, it was all going on there.
Yeah, it really was, man. And Johnny, he was just, I think, you know, for me now, the more I think about blues and stuff, I just think it's more emotional music. Whatever it is that actually is like, you can feel it, that's bluesy to me. Like Johnny Winter, it's like, I remember I was talking to a friend, and we were at a bar, and we were talking about Johnny Winter, and this woman walks up, and she goes, oh, I like Johnny Winter. She goes, but I can't listen to it. It makes me want to drink. It gets me so sad. You know, it makes me want to drink whiskey. And it's like, when you listen to Johnny Winter, you're like, who hurt you, man? It's crazy how emotional that is. So, yeah, I can't ever turn away from it. It's like, I could be playing anything, but it's still going to have that bluesy thing, because that's really what's deep down inside my first love.
I watched the video to Last Chance.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to do it about 50 times, but I got you with the Cream album cover and Skinner.
For sure.
And I thought, I've got that.
For sure, man. Yeah, that song was funny too, because we were playing live and stuff, and someone goes, "You don't have any fast songs. You need a fast song." And I looked at him and I said, "What? You need a fast song?" And they go, "Yeah, play a fast song." And it was funny because I was like, that riff, I was like, what is a bonehead fast riff? And I played that. And the guys were like, we love that. And I was like, oh, okay. So that's where that one came from.
You keep on calling me, you wanna take me down. You keep on yelling and I still can't hear a sound.
Yeah, you've said that you need to connect to as many people as possible.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you tour a lot and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I first became aware of you realising you were playing some really big support tours and things.
Yeah.
Now you have to now bounce between headline shows, double headers, festival appearances. You're up at Crows, I think, in Sheffield at the weekend.
Yes.
Different kind of artists up there and everything. How do you presumably you'd come up with the set lists every time and you say to the guys, right, we've got 45 minutes tonight, this is it, we've got an hour and a half here, so on. Is that easy, or do you just kind of have to keep on top of everything?
I try and stay on top of everything, but always what I really do is like, I don't want to say cater to the audience, but like it's the same as like if we had a gig and we were playing, a blues venue, that would definitely be what I was playing. Like it would be that side of what we do. I try and cater, but I know that, certain tours, like really where the heaviness started coming in especially was when we were on tours with like UFO and Saxon and Zakk Wylde and all these tours, because we knew that if we went out there, we had to go with a bang, And it's funny because like on this tour alone, we're playing, I want to say 20 shows? No. We're playing like 23 shows. And then I have 5 guitar clinics. And then half of those are headliners and festivals and all this stuff. So every day is different. So yeah, man, I try and coordinate it, but I just...
So you're almost doing it on a day-by-day basis?
Day by day. Every single thing.
Because I looked at your tour list and I thought, some of them were obviously solo shows. I think with Buffalo Summer you're doing some...
Yeah, we did one with them, yep.
And then you've got these dates with LA Guns, which is, again, I guess it's kind of a different audience, isn't it?
Total different audience.
It's sort of LA hair metal audience.
It's interesting because I feel like with all... Nowadays, it's not as if you're booked on a rock tour in a certain lane. It's like if you play hard blues or rock, it's like anyone with a guitar you're going to get on tour with. Like the next tour we're going to do is Fozzy. And it's like, so that's a whole nother audience. So for me, instead of trying to pigeonhole myself and say, well, I don't want to do that, I only want to do this, I try and instead look at it on the other side and say, well, if I keep pushing on my thing and then these other audiences are here, maybe there's going to be a common chord that we all connect on, and then and then they will eventually all be music lovers together on my stuff, So it's tough, it's challenging, but I've always been a fighter on that note. We've been in Czech Republic playing metal festivals, and then we've also, on the other hand, been playing jazz blues festivals. Yeah. So it's always...
Well, I mean, that's one great thing, isn't it? You can
legitimately
be in both those camps.
Yes, we can do it.
Not compromise. As you say, you can adapt, but you're not compromising your music.
Exactly.
What you're doing.
Exactly. So in that regards, it's fun, and I think that I thank my lucky stars on that too, that I just kind of stuck to my guns on that and just said, no, we're going to do it. We're going to figure out when there's a will, there's a way, right? So it's pretty cool.
So what are your plans for the next album? You mentioned it briefly.
Oh, yeah. I have a lot of cool plans. I don't want to say go back to my roots because that would sound funny, but I definitely am going to get a little bit dirtier on the blues on the next record. I want to flirt a little more with the blues, and I also want to do, like I was talking about, I've been listening so much to like Cream lately and the live jams and the extended jams. Yeah. And I think what would really knock people out is if they heard some stuff that was, over the edge, over the top in that regard, So my hope for the next record is obviously focus on writing the best songs I can, but, also have some surprises in there. maybe a special guest or two. We'll see. You know,
that'd be
we've had
awesome.
some really cool people come
You've
in
done a
my
lot
life.
of, on YouTube. Put you in on YouTube. And
Yeah.
come up, you played live with a lot of great.
Oh, yeah.
in lots of different kind of areas.
I think
and stuff,
that we have some. I have some
Yeah.
cool friends as of lately that would love to be included. So I think the next record, you know, I'm gonna focus more than ever to try and make the best record I can, and you know, honor everything that I love, from the blues to the bluesy rock stuff, and just all of it.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
And
man.
Look forward to welcoming you back to Blighty again.
I'll be back.
You'll
You
be
know
back.
I will.
You're always here.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Joe, for talking to us. It's been
Cheers.
wonderful.
Thanks,
you very
man.
much.
That you loved me long time ago, but now you don't wanna see me around no more.
That was a broadcast production for Glovebox Live and Blues in Britain magazine.
My heart